Hello everyone, it's really good to see you here all. So in today's video, we are going to see whether you are placement ready or not. And by this I mean that we need to do something in order to be prepared for the placement, right? So in today's video, we are going to check all the list if we have already completed that or not. So let's get started. Okay, so firstly, the very first thing which you have to do in order to be placement ready is to create your resume. And for this, you have to create your resume in such a way that it is impressive and at the same time cover and highlight all the things which you already know and already done in the past. So it's very important to present each and everything that is required for you to get shortlisted for the company. So it's very important to customize your resume for each job application and focus on the thing that is required for that particular job position and try to add them in form of a keyword in your resume. That's very important. And nowadays, most of your resume is being checked by some AI tools. So it's very important to have these terms in your resume in order to get your resume shortlisted for the further process. I had made a video marking all the important points that you have to add in your resume if you are focusing for some software or technical company. So do check it out. And if you have already made your resume, then you have started your placement preparation already. If you are focusing on ST company, then it's very important to master DSA. And you know, almost 80% of the thing is required from DSA itself. So DSA is very important if you are focusing for any software or technical companies. So as you all know that DSA is the backbone of technical interview. So it's very important to master all the different concepts that is present inside data structure. It's okay to not know all the higher level data structures, that is segment tree and all, but just do try to master all the required data structures, which is easy at the same time oftenly asked in interviews like tree, array, linked list, graphs and so on. So just try to have a background knowledge of all those things. I had also made a video on how to prepare for DSA if you are a newbie. So just if you want, you can go and watch that video as well. You will get an overall overview of how to start DSA as a beginner if you haven't started it yet. On that time, I'm saying that. But I'm assuming that if you are already started preparing for the companies, then obviously you already know how to do or learn data structures and algorithms. So not only learning the concept is important, but at the same time, you have to practice it by coding that on different platforms like LeetCode, HackerRank and so on. Understand the different concepts of data structures and algorithm, and also at the same time try to learn more about time and space complexity, because it's a very important term that is oftenly been asked in an interview. So whenever you are going to give any coding interview, you are for sure going to have this question: what's the time complexity and space complexity of your problem? And if the interviewer is not asking you that question, just try to give that answer by yourself. Like, let's suppose if you have started by a brute force solution and there you have some time complexity of O of n square. So now you can tell your interviewer that I have reached to this conclusion that this solution has a time complexity of O of n square, but using this particular data structure, I can optimize this code to O of n. So this is a very impactful thing which you have already said to the interviewer, without him or her interrupting you to just make your program more efficient by either decreasing the time or the space complexity of that particular program. So it's very important to master all these things. And it only happens when you just practice and practice. And I assume that this is the 50% part of any placement preparation. So let me know if you have already done that. Just let me know in the comment that you have done 50% of your placement preparation. Coming to the third point, that is to brush up on core concept, and it's very important. If you know something, and if you have learned some concepts earlier, then it's very important to again just brush up all those concepts, because it may happen that you have forgotten something about that concept. So you can revise the fundamental of computer science and programming languages, and what are the thing it has, what are the different libraries it contains. So just do brush up all these things, and also ensure to grasp the concept like object-oriented programming, DBMS, system design, and so on. So in today's world, system design is something which now company had started asking about it. So try to learn about what is low-level system design, what is high-level system design, and so on. So if you have done this thing, then obviously you have tick mark this particular thing for your placement preparation also. Now let's talk about this. So if you have already done your resume, then obviously you have made some very meaningful project that is related to the upcoming demand of the company, as well as all the technical field that they are going to use. For example, in the very past, for web development, HTML, CSS and JavaScript is being used, right? But nowadays there are so many different frameworks which has very effective power, and it's very powerful to do all the work in very less time and in a very efficient manner. So learning those skills which company nowadays already using in their projects. So if you have already been learning that concept, it's very useful for you, as well as it's very positive sign to you getting shortlisted in that particular company. For example, nowadays Next.js is very useful, and likewise the common CSS thing, we also have the power of Tailwind CSS. So if you just combine Next.js and Tailwind CSS, you're going to build so many effective websites in very less time. So building project is not important, but at the same time just take that thing in mind that building meaningful project is very important. Work on the project that demonstrate your skill and solve real world problem. And if you have done this type of project, then it's going to help you also to understand why you are learning this coding, why you are learning this data structure. For example, as you can see that you have ChatGPT, right? What ChatGPT do? It just do a searching thing. You are writing some prompt there, and then from its backend, it is going to fetch what are the different answers possible for your question, right? So there, searching is going to be happen, right? So whatever the concept of searching you have studied in data structure and algorithm, you can see that it has a real world solution, or it is solving a real world problem, right? Building only project is not important. Just try to add your project in your GitHub portfolio, because it's very important to give an accessible link in your resume so that the interviewer go through it and get an idea what you have actually done. So it is a very impressive move, and nowadays almost every student is doing that. And if you're not doing that, you are very back on the line of getting selected. So just please start adding your project on GitHub in order to get shortlisted. So practicing mock interview, that is the 5th point, is very important if you are focusing for your interviews. Because what happens is that if you directly go to an interview, it's very new environment, and the chances are your confidence will go down, or you don't perform the way you can. So it's very important and as well as necessary at the same time to conduct and practice mock interviews prior of your interviews. So just conduct a mock interview including all the points that can be asked by the company. So research about it and then ask your friend or mentor to take your interview in a form of a real interview experience, and then just take feedback and communicate your problem solving, presentation skill, and so on, like the way you are going to present in an actual interview. So it's very important, and if you're already doing this in your placement preparation, then obviously you have done almost 80 to 85% of your placement preparation. Let me know in the comment if you have started doing that. Just force your friend that let's do mock interviews, because it's beneficial for you as well as them also. Okay, so now not only applying for a company is important, but at the same time, do research about the company. If you're applying for, let's suppose, a data science company, and all your resume have is some component of only SDE thing. So what going to happen that your resume is not going to shortlisted, right? So in order to get your resume shortlisted for data science companies, you have to add things that is related to data science in your resume, right? So researching about the company will help you to get an idea what type of question that company asks in an interview and what are the different patterns or data structure they oftenly ask. And it's very important in order to crack that company. For example, Amazon asks so many behavioral questions which is already been up in so many different sources, right? So if you have already gone through all of this, you will be easily able to get that they are being asked question on STAR method. So what is STAR method? Just try to get all those things and learn about it before going to interview in that company. It's important to research and have a sound knowledge of the company. I'm not saying that just know each and everything about the company, but yeah, do let know something like what are the different project companies being up to, and then in an interview at the last you can show your interest that you are very excited about this upcoming project or something like that and you wanted to work with. So it's going to make a positive impact on the interviewer that you have already been researched about the company and you are also excited to join the company. So in my personal interview, what happened is that I have applied to some company, and while I'm giving the interview for that company, I have done some research about the company. So when they started telling that they are working on this, they are working on that, I just started telling my experience for the same technology and how that technology inspired me to do something more. So by doing this, I had at the same time tell them that I have researched about their company and whatever the thing they are using, I already have learned that. And also at the same time, I am interested in that particular domain. So it's a plus for everything, right? So just try to research about your company because it's going to help you a lot. So this is the point which I have used in my interview, that answer to show how your skill align with company's need. So this is what I have done in my interview. It's very important to develop soft skill in order to perform well in an interview, as well as it's going to help you whenever you are going to join a company. So in today's world, you know that how much communication is important. So try to develop this soft skill as early as possible. Start talking to your friend in English because most of the interviews going to be happen or conducted in English, right? If you learn this skill, you are going to handle all the situation like communicating to others, then whenever you are joining a company, how teamwork would be going on and so on. So this is a very important skill if you want to become a well-rounded candidate for any company. And if you can present well yourself in an interview, then half of your job is done there already. Because most of the time what happens is that the children already know all the solution, the children already know all the thing that has been asked in an interview. But the problem is that he or she may not able to express their things properly to the interviewer. And then the interviewer will start thinking that you don't know that. But it's not the thing. And to improve this skill, you have to practice it. So just don't only do coding, just don't only learn the concept, but at the same time start expressing those things in a form of that you are explaining it to someone like interviewer. And by doing this, you are 95% already prepared for your placements. So if you have done all these 7 things which I have told, then almost all the things have already been covered here. So just brush up all those things. One thing which you can also learn that is not very important, but if you can do, it's better. So let's look. So this is what my senior had done, and I have talked to so many that due to they have so many networks in their company and also from their college and so many different friendships, they easily got a job. So it's important to build a network. So just start doing that. Start asking from your senior to give you referral, to help you, to guide you how you can start or do your placement preparation. So this is an overview of you to let yourself know that whether you have already been prepared for your interviews or not, or for your placement or not. So do let me know how much percentage you have been able to complete before the placement season begins. And it's very soon, right? So all the very best. If you have something lagging, right, just start to work upon that, because you have time. You still have at least some 15 to 20 or 1 month. It's different for all the colleges, but I guess almost all colleges start their placement by August or starting of the September. So you do have time right now. Just start working on all these skills and polish itself, and don't take much pressure. And remember that placement is not only about your preparation, your skill and so on. But yeah, it is important, but at the same time, it may happen that your luck is not working. I'll share my experience about my interview and my placement, which is really a kind of story that you can listen, right? It's a movie kind of story which happened to me. I'll surely going to inform you all about this. But yeah, luck did matter in a placement, but your hard work is what make you achieve each and everything. Only luck is not going to work anyway. Work, determination and your preparation along with your luck is going to give you the best placement you deserve. So by looking all this, now tell me, are you placement ready? Because the season is here, and if you haven't ready yet, just start practicing all those things and start brushing up all those, and then tick mark all the 7-8 points so that you got to know how much you are prepared for your placements. So yeah, all the very best, and this is it for this video. Do comment out how much percentage you are ready for your placement, and also do let me know if you have any comment or suggestion regarding to this video. And this is it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.